So Comfort Zone Camp is a nonprofit bereavement camp for grieving kids. We provide a fun program in a camp environment and allow kids who've often never met anybody else who's experienced a significant death come together, break their isolation, and get back to being a kid again in a fun camp environment. A weekend at Comfort Zone mirrors how kids grieve. Kids grieve in short bursts. They don't wear black. They don't mourn 24/7. They actually can compartmentalize it, and they don't sit with the heaviness too long. It's often a healthier way to grieve. And so our activities are designed to do that. When kids get there, if it's their first time, there's a hesitance of how heavy is this going to be? Is this going to be sad camp? So right away, we do some fun icebreaker games. You see kids almost exhale, like, oh my gosh, there's laughter, there's fun, that maybe this will be an okay experience for me. And then we have a former camper model, and we call it Big Buddy Sharing. For the entire camp, they tell their story about who died and what happened afterwards and what helped and where are they now. And they allow people to ask questions. So right away, hands are flying up. And what was their name? And my dad died when I was 7 too. And how did you feel? And so it just, that magic and that connection starts happening, and that me too. Right away. And then the kids go into small support groups called healing circles. And the kids are broken down by age. And these healing circles are led by trained grief therapists, and they meet 4 times throughout the weekend. And the kids are invited to tell their stories, talk about feelings, talk about what's changed at home, talk about anticipating upcoming events, and also to identify coping skills and things that they can put in their emotional toolkit that they can take with them to help them on the tough days that happen outside of camp. So they do that on 4 times. First one's Friday night. And then afterwards, we have a social, and we bring it back up. And anytime we do something heavy, we bring it back up. And then they have games and social time, and then go to sleep. The next morning, by Healing Circle, they go out on the ropes course and challenge course. They do team building and trust building activities. And the activities, that even though they're doing something fun with meaning, which is kind of what we do most of the camp weekend, is fun with meaning. They're doing these obstacles and challenges and laughing with their friends, but we also do that. How do they make the decision to trust and the people on their team? And how do these activities mirror grief? And could they get through any of these obstacles on their own? Could they get through grief on their own? And who do they decide to let in and help trust them and support them on their journey? And then after that, because they've turbo bonded a little bit and had some fun with their healing circle, they go back to Healing Circle 2. They're often willing to do a deeper dive and sharing their own stories and talking about feelings and emotions. And then after that, we have lunch, and then we lighten it back up with 2 hours of typical camp activities, free time. So it could be anything from boating or fishing, could be kickball, could be gaga ball, could be arts and crafts, but there's a variety of activities that they can do. And then after that, they go to their next healing circle, again, continuing to talk and bond with that small group. Then we do arts and crafts. Some kids are better verbally, and some kids are better through art expression. So we do an arts and crafts project that also ties in with some purpose and meaning that they can take home as a symbol of their reminders at camp, and some coping skill as well. Then after that, we have dinner, and then we have evening activity, and there's any type of game. We've done Family Feud, we've done Minute to Win It, we've done with charades, we do all kinds of, we do about an hour of just crazy games. And again, kids having fun and making friends. And then after that, we transition to our bonfire. And the bonfire started off just fun and with repeat after me songs and chants and cheers and music. And of course, s'mores. What's a bonfire without a s'more? And so it's a fun time. But then we transition into our circle of remembrance. And the kids have decorated luminary bags and remembered their loved one, and they have a candle in there that lights the way to the bonfire. They've also written a note to their loved one. That's a private note that they put into the message, and we talked symbolically about the smoke carrying the message to their loved ones and inviting their loved ones to be a part of our community. And a lot of times under the safety of the darkness and that turbo bonding with their friends who get it at that bonfire, it's often a way for them to let out emotions and sometimes tears, and it's very cathartic. And sometimes siblings support each other or friends support each other, and it's just kind of a beautiful way to honor their loved ones. And then of course we go back, lighten it back up with another evening social. And then the last day, we also have a healing circle leader that focuses a lot on coping skills and connection and what we learned at camp that can help them back in the real world. And then we close the weekend. The climax of our weekend is our memorial service. Funerals tend to be adult oriented, and sometimes kids don't even get invited to attend, or they weren't old enough to attend, and it's put on by adults. So this is their service put on by them for their loved ones. And they can do anything. They can play a song, their loved one's favorite song. They might tell dad's favorite jokes while mom's going, no, cut. They might do a skit. They might toss a football back and forth because dad might have been football coach. So it's got the heartstring moments to the laughter moments, which has just been how our weekend has been all weekend, transitioning out of the heavy moments to like, we have the best feels and the deepest of feels to the best belly laughs ever. And we go in and out of that all weekend. And the parents and guardians are invited to come back to that memorial service, and the child that they maybe had to twist their arm a little bit to come is up there singing a song a cappella to their sister who died. And the parent is like, oh my gosh, that's the first time I've seen a genuine smile on my child's face since their loved one died. So it's just a magical way to culminate the weekend. Our mission is to provide kids with the tools to help them still lead an active, fulfilling, and happy life, and give them a community to support them. And we do that by providing not just a camp and a one-time thing, but we let kids come over and over again. And it's a community. It's a place that stays with them and they can connect with in between camps. And we've had kids grow up in Comfort Zone and been involved now as campers and volunteers, sometimes even as staff members or board members. So we've been around for 26 years. So we've seen so many kids blossom and grow and heal and be a long-term member of the Comfort Zone Camp family. My parents died when I was young, and there weren't any resources, and it was isolating and it was lonely. And I went to a regular summer camp afterwards and loved it, and allowed me to step outside of my loss. And that magical bubble of camp really spoke to me. And many years later, there still weren't any resources. So I created the resource that I wish I would have had.
It's just such a special weekend when you come in, you see these kids come in on Friday evening, and then the difference on Sunday is incredible. But not only that, but when you're in the healing circles and you're listening to these kids tell the stories and you're watching their reactions, I think the most special thing is when you see a kid is hearing something that they're finally realizing there's somebody here who gets it and understands me, and you see kind of like that light bulb go off. And it's their moment where they're like, I've done it. I'm not alone. And so that's the whole purpose of Comfort Zone Camp, is to provide that space for these kids to realize they truly are alone.
To have these children come in here and just realize that they are not alone, that there are other kids their age who unfortunately understand what they're going through. But let alone, this is a place for kids to share their story, but also to be a kid. Fun is a huge part of our camp program, because sometimes they don't get that after they're lost. And so letting them just come here and be a child and have fun.
So a lot of therapy sessions and things that you do in school, it's people who experience hardships, but it's not people who've experienced the loss of a loved one specifically. And this camp is a place where kids can go and they can meet other people who have experienced a direct loss, like a parent or a sibling or a guardian. And I think that's really special in the way that Comfort Zone allows kids to come and have a unique experience where they meet people who are so similar to them and have such similar experiences.
I realized Comfort Zone was really impactful for me when I went home from Comfort Zone, and I no longer hid my story from people. I no longer because for a long time I pretended like I didn't even have a brother because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want people to ask me questions. I didn't want people to feel bad for me. So after coming to Comfort Zone, I've learned that it's okay to talk about people that you've lost, and not everybody's looking at you like a broken person for losing somebody so young.
As a big buddy, when I come in, my goal is to just try initially, especially a new camper, to make them feel welcome. It's very nerve-wracking given the situation that they're about to walk into, to be expected to tell something so personal. It can be hard. So my main goal is to make them feel comfortable. And then after that, it's to help them kind of take baby steps to come out of their shell and get the most that they can out of the weekend.
Being a little buddy, it's about like meeting new people and like sharing your story, listening to other people, learning how they grieve and learning how you grieve, seeing what's different, what's the same, and like making connections to people. It's really nice when you like know someone else who has like similar experiences, or like their loved one like the same thing.
So this is her first time at camp, and I've been a little buddy before. I started being a little buddy when I was 11, and so like having that experience, I think it's really helped us like get to know each other quicker, just because like I know what it's like to be that age at camp, and we called before camp started, and that really helped as well, just to like get to know each other, see each other's faces before it started. I really like how they do the video and voice calls before camp. It helps with the turbo bonding. Is there anything else you want to add?
Knowing that she has been a camper before, kind of, there's like, she knows a lot of stuff, like how this like camp works, and even though it might have changed, it's still probably similar, so she can like walk me through like challenges that I need to like figure out how to get through. I think it's really important for people to remember that the kids that come here were not broken. We went through something that not everybody goes through. I think it's a lot of people think you're sad or you don't know how to deal with something. Automatically your mind goes to, oh, they're broken, and we're not broken. We just need a little bit of help in figuring out how to navigate through those emotions.
I think for me, what makes me come back is as someone who lost their father when they were young, and being able to see the impact that a program like this has on people is just really important. And I really feel like it's something that should be done.
I keep going back because I know how much Comfort Zone helped me. And I like to give that back to the other kids that I know are going through the same thing that I was going through when I was super young. So I love helping the kids in the same way that I got the help at Comfort Zone. I just think it's important to remember that Comfort Zone holds a very special place in a lot of kids' hearts. What we have here is not something that you can find really anywhere else. I mean, there's other grief camps out there, but for this one specifically, we're here for only 3 days. So it's very accelerated, like, healing process, and it's just incredible how close and connected and healed we get by the end of the weekend. So I think it's important to just remember that Comfort Zone is really important to us, and I don't think anybody should ever take it for granted.
It's helped me like learn how to deal with my emotions, and I think it's a great resource for other people to have.
Comfort Zone Camp is more than a nonprofit. It is a community. It's a family. It's a place where it's a grief utopia. It's where people come and are their best selves. And when we all come as individuals with our heart in the right place, that magic happens, and that unconditional love lifts everybody up. And that vibe, that energy, and that safe community that is built allows these kids to be transformed. It allows pieces of their healing to happen. And it's infectious. You want to come back. You want to be a part of it because it's how the world really should be. And it matters. It matters. People supporting it by volunteering, by sending friends and family or campers in need, and by donating. It matters. If you want to make a tangible difference in the life of a child, Comfort Zone is the best vehicle to do it.
Comfort Zone simply would not exist without the amazing community that supports us over the last 26 years. We have so many amazing donors all around the country. We have volunteers who support us. We could not do our camps without our big buddies. And of course, the campers and their parents who bring them to our camp, really the reason that we're in business. But over the past 26 years, it has been an absolute amazing venture, an amazing ride in seeing this organization start from the beginning and grow what it is in today, doing so many camps around the country. We are so grateful and so much gratitude to everyone involved who makes this possible.